G'day, Jason Hodges here for Adbri. Now in the past we have sat down and shown you how to design your dream courtyard or backyard, how to get impact and improve your lifestyle at home by landscaping and improving your outdoor areas. Well, one of the hottest subjects at the moment right around the country is the real estate prices. So if you're thinking about putting your house on the market, why wouldn't you want to maximise the ability to get as much money as possible? Now there's a few tips and tricks I can give you so you can learn what you need to do at your place to maximise your bang for your buck. Remember, you're not building this garden to live in for the rest of your life, raise your children and retire gracefully. You are suggesting to someone that this is a fantastic house to live in. Now I've got an aerial shot of a typical house which happens to be on a corner block. You can see the driveway coming in there, here's the house, there's a courtyard around the back, a backyard and a front area. Now the two places where you're going to maximise your spend is the first impression. So at the moment you have to walk up the driveway to get to the lawn to get to the front door. So we're going to eliminate that and create an entryway and a path. Now that won't just be safe and sensible to have it, it'll also be a visual impact and make the whole house look like it's renovated. And then secondly, in the backyard there's this concrete slab. It's about 2.5 metres wide and about 7 metres long. Now that's a perfect entertaining area, but grey old concrete looks more serviceable than entertaining area. So we're going to go over the top of that and then tie in some garden beds so I can colour off and hide this colour-bond fence, making that a courtyard that you'd really like to entertain in. Both jobs, small entry-level DIY jobs. I encourage anyone that can lift a barrow and dig a hole could build these kind of courtyards and front path. So how do we go about it? Well, I've got the aerial shot and I've just done a rough sketch on an A3 piece of paper of what the property looks like. And now I'm going to go in and concentrate on the two areas. You don't need to be an artist, you just need to be able to interpret what you've written down here and then apply it to your courtyard or your front path. All right, so the front door's around here somewhere. Now I could use the path of the driveway and come off the side of that. But as you see, there's cars parked on there. Now on the day of sale, get all your cars out of the way so that path looks as open, as clean and as wide as possible. So I am going to use this path and bring the path that I'm going to draw from about 2/3 of the way up. So we'll come in here and I'm thinking large format steppers and then a little patio area to just create the dream of an outdoor entertaining area underneath the shadow and shade of this great big tree. So what I've created here is the area that I'm going to concentrate on the front yard. I've got stepping stones coming off that existing driveway path, going to the front door, but also going into the garden as well. Now they're 600 by 400. There is 0 cuts in that job. So pick it up off the pallet and lay it on the ground and the job's done. Now I've come to the end here where I've got lawn and I've created a circle with Haven brick, which is a tiny little brick. It's 200 by 100. So you've got the large paver, very easy on your eye and very easy to walk on to get to the front door, and then a little bit of detail in the circle. Now that circle might only be about 2.2 metres across, which means that it'll only be about 4 to 5 metres of pavers. So you're not spending a huge amount of money on materials. But what you've created is a destination in the front yard. You get to the front door easy, but because there's this great big tree here, you've created a courtyard in this space here. Now you can see the existing hedge. I'm going to take out a little bit of that, but I'm planting it out as well. So giving you privacy from the street, it means you can sit in the front yard on the hottest of days with the shade of the tree above you, and there's no other either natural or man-built shade on this property. And that, the big tree, is a lot cooler than having a pergola or a hard surface just a metre above our head, because the breeze can go through the tree and cool down by the time it hits us. So that's probably the most inviting spot to actually sit in this whole area, and I'm visually making it plain, simple and obvious to every person that turns up. Now the added bonus, first impressions. You're walking in and this is the first thing you see. By the time you're looking at the bathroom and the kitchen, you've already won the person when they've walked up and seen this detailed front entranceway. Compared to a lawn that's worn out and tired, this path will make the rest of the lawn look better, plus it'll make it look like the house has been renovated. All right, in the backyard, We've got that existing concrete slab. I'm not changing the shape of that. I'm just going to go over the top of it. So I'll highlight it with my texter. And if you know the size of the pavers that you're going to be putting down, you can do the maths before you lay anything to make sure that your cuts, if you do have to put them in, are of a good size. Now I know they're 600 mil long, so if I was to go and draw a plan at 1850 mils or 1900 mils, 850, I'd end up with a 50 mil cut somewhere. Or 1900, I'd end up with 100 mil. But if I go 1800, I'll end up with 3 full pavers. If I go 2100, I'll get 3 full pavers and a nice half. So that's what I'd work on here. I'm doing stretcher bond, which is like the brickwork that you see on the side of a house. So I'm going to start with a half and then lay a full. So I will have cuts. I'll have 1, 2, 3 cuts on the whole job, and the half that I cut off this end will work down at the other end. So 3 cuts to do nearly 18 metres of pavers is next to no cuts at all. And if you wanted to eliminate the cuts altogether, you would just lay them in a bond pattern, which means not stretcher bond, but just straight lines, like I've done the steppers in the front yard. Now that's nice. I've replaced the concrete with a paver, but I want to jazz it up a little bit more.
And what we're looking at is Lawn Edge. Now it's a clever little product, and I know what you're thinking, why don't I just use a paver or a brick as my garden edge? Well, Lawn Edge has got 2 different heights. There's this longer side and the narrow side. Lay it longer side down and you create a nice little mowing strip, meaning your mower can get right past the last blade of grass. You can turn them on the narrow side and look super smart. So, putting them in, there's actually a fence there of colour bond and a fence here of colour bond. And as practical as colour bond fences are, I don't consider them pretty. So I'm going to screen that off using a little hedge. I like lily pillies purely because they're fast growing, and what you see in the nursery is usually, for its price, relatively tall compared to other hedging plants. So you need to think about that when you're selling a property. If you're putting it in and it's instantly got a bit of height to it, well, that's a bonus to something that might be down near your knees or your ankles. All right, so we've created the courtyard entertaining area. We've screened it off with a lily pilly. And one of the simplest and easiest things you can do is mow the existing lawns, put some water on them and give them a good feed and make them as green as possible for your first inspection. Now, rule of thumb is a good real estate agent will tell you that if you spend $1 well on your property, that you'll get 2 back. Well, that's true when you're talking about a room inside where you've got to worry about the surface on the floor, the walls, then painting the walls, the ceiling, all the light fittings, the electrician. When it comes to outdoors, you're getting maximum bang for your buck. A garden can only look better. So preparation in this matter is important. The more time that you have for that garden to grow in, the more moolah you're going to make. So don't wait till the last minute. If you're thinking about selling in 6 to 12 months time, the best time to start this is now. Those plants will bed in, they'll season off, they'll put new growth on them, and they'll look like they've been there forever. So plan for the future, get your plants in the ground early. The paving will jazz it up and make it look a lot better, and the bang for buck compared to replacing a kitchen or a bathroom is through the roof. Now, those 2 spots, like I said, I reckon a DIYer who's competent enough to dig a hole, lift the barrow and be able to stack the pavers in the barrow will be able to do this job. Paving on top of a slab is the easiest because you've got the perfect footing. All you need to do is put down 10 to 20 mil of washed river sand, screed that off, and then you can start laying your pavers. Once they're down, you mud the edges in so the sand can't wash away, and the job's done. At the front, a little bit of excavation work in your lawn, put down some road base, compact that, put your sand down 10 to 20 mil again, screed it and lay the pavers. It's a great little job, both of these, which I think could add astronomical amounts of money for your outlay when you go to sell your house. I hope I've helped, and if you want more information, Adbri has a ton of videos to show you so you can learn, make money or enjoy your home. Good luck.